The movie industry did not just entertain people. It trained perception. For decades, film and television acted like a psychological projector, repeating certain images of black people so consistently that those images began shaping public consciousness. Not reality. Perception of reality. Early Hollywood often reduced black people to narrow roles: the servant, the criminal, the comic relief, the unintelligent, the threatening male, the hypersexualized woman, the side character without depth. These portrayals were not random. Narratives repeated long enough become social conditioning. When millions of people consume the same image over and over again, the brain starts treating repetition as truth. That is how stereotypes become embedded into culture. Film has emotional power because it bypasses pure logic. People don't just watch stories, they emotionally experience them. And emotional experiences leave deeper psychological imprints than statistics or facts ever could. So when black people were repeatedly shown through distorted lenses, those portrayals influenced hiring decisions, policing perceptions, education, expectations, housing attitudes, social fears, even how black people sometimes viewed themselves. That is the dangerous part about narrative control. Eventually, the targeted group can begin internalizing the story imposed on them. Not because the story is true, because constant exposure reshapes identity and expectation. This is why representation matters beyond surface politics. The images a society repeatedly sees affect what that society unconsciously believes is normal, intelligent, trustworthy, dangerous, valuable, capable. Hollywood became one of the most powerful narrative machines on Earth because movies scale emotion. One film can influence millions simultaneously. And historically, many executives, studios, and gatekeepers were operating inside broader social systems already shaped by segregation, racial hierarchy, and economic incentives. The industry often reflected and amplified the biases already present in society. Intentionally. Sometimes because people recreate the assumptions of the culture they grew up in without questioning them. Over time, these narratives evolved. You began seeing more complex black characters, black directors, independent storytelling, and films that challenged older stereotypes instead of reinforcing them. Figures like Spike Lee, John Singleton, Ava DuVernay, and Ryan Coogler pushed narratives that showed fuller humanity instead of caricatures. But the larger lesson goes beyond race or Hollywood. Whoever controls the dominant narrative often influences how society interprets reality itself, because most people do not directly experience entire groups of people personally. They experience mediated versions: movies, television, music, social media, news. And if those lenses are distorted long enough, distortion starts feeling normal. That is why narrative is power. Not because it changes reality immediately, because it changes perception first. And perception eventually changes behavior, policy, opportunity, identity, and culture.